Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Field of Glory Empires as Sparta in the Persian DLC. We're still fighting Persia and fighting Persia, fighting Persia. There's just more Persians where that the Persian army came from, obviously. Did I go around and do everything? Or either that or that everything had more than one turn to go through. Okay. No isle regions. I'm gonna go blockade? Okay, let's go and second the turn. We will continue the attack on the Persians. We can see about 89 Persians there, right in our face. And that's just in the land troops. And there's the Navy, Persian Navy. Okay, we won the naval battle. We did take pretty high attrition in that battle. We are defending, I think it's the Persians sallying here, to be fair. Doing a last-ditch sally to try to save the fort. Uh, 12 for... Okay, so this is the remainder of their navy. Okay, Persian Navy's at the bottom. Mine is heavily damaged and will need to return to port. Persians are picking off the weak province, or weak territory here and there. That might actually be a fight that we win, depending on the RNG. Yeah, depending on the RNG, we may win that. Okay. Oh, they don't have anywhere for their fleet to retreat to, so we've got to send it to the bottom. Yeah, complete destruction of the Persian fleet there. Battle into draw. Okay, 1v1 I think we're going to lose. Once again, we have a battle with the Persian fleet. I'm going to skip this. We either win or we lose. Apparently we won. Okay, the garrison will regenerate. And our army failed to catch the Persian one. So, no army and army fight that turn. Proposal for a transaction. You clause. You give me money, you give me metal, I give you some javelineers. I think I have the manpower to deal with this, so we'll accept. Displace some more slaves. The admiral has retired. Go ahead and put a determined admiral in and send him back to port. Want to get back up to 15 or 16 ships, so it probably makes sense to just grab 6 heavy warships. Put a bit of a strong front line in the middle of the pack. Across this bay. You go attach to... Actually, no, you stay where you are, because you're going to have to move through the Persian army if the Persian army doesn't run away. Okay, that's the troop movements. We have them under siege. They do have a garrison. The garrison's pretty exhausted. Order an assault. If they don't surrender, storm them. Hopefully the assault goes reasonably. 1, 1, and a 1. Okay, got a couple build slots here. We're not going to build the wall. We never build the wall. Interesting. I have unrest problems here. So we're going to have to make a little bit of culture, because that's how you tend to fix unrest problems in emergency situations like this. I've only got 1 build slot. As tempting as it is to grab the hospital, I need the loyalty. The best loyalty source for us right now is the Noble District. Interesting, we got, oh, it's a dry dock. It looks, well, actually, no, it's a slightly different picture for the boat house, which the nation we're playing doesn't get. So we got the noble house. We did get the prison, which has reduced the unrest here. So we're a little bit less worried about grabbing another one. Of course, we got a place where we can import silk from, so we can do the amphitheater here. This is a 0 slot. Still building there, still building there. 3 and a 1. Oh, again, we got another place where we need some loyalty. And a hospital. I'm gonna build clear water. Yeah, clear water. So the other one is going to be pushing toward upgrading the irrigation system to irrigation canals. We got some. We get some decent papyrus out in Italy. Greece is a little. The place we got in making papyrus in Greece is probably a little far away from Italy. Because it's eastern Greece. Yeah, eastern Greece to western Italy is maybe a little far. Okay. And then the loose. No idle loose. Okay. Advance the turn. So I don't think we got any more decisions, at least no regional ones. I suppose we can take a look. Did we... prospecting didn't appear to produce anything. Okay. $10v20. Granted, our garrison's apparently scary. But yeah, still think it's gonna be enough. Damage a little bit of their combat effectiveness, but we need better than damaging their effectiveness. We need actual units dying. We did manage to engage the enemy army. $7v8. We got a min-roll 7 versus a min-roll 3, so I think we're going to be winning most of these fights. Yeah. Enemy general dead. Ooh, main Spartan army hitting our siege force. The siege force has managed to take the siege, but we're still outside the fort. And we managed to squeeze out a win there. Transaction. They give me metal, money, manpower in exchange for some troops. Sure. We have a new leader. Paranoid. Lower leader force pools. Not good. Some diplomacy is decent. Okay. You storm the location. Merge the cav up. Have the cav join the army. Honestly, having you defend the forest right now just makes sense. Yeah. You don't have the numbers to really fight anywhere else. You are medium infantry. You're going to fight the best in forests against what you're facing. I'm even going to go so far. Can you draft some Paradoki up? You can. Draft some troops. Get some reinforcements for yourself. What did I only recruit 5? I only recruited 5. Probably should have grabbed 6. 15 is probably close enough. Okay, merge those 2 fleets. Noble amphitheater's fine. We now have an open slot there. 3, in fact. For just an upgrade to the cult site, the temple isn't too bad. I don't really need the culture conversion. I'd rather have the alternative. Because we're coastal. I'd rather have the Pathlin temple. We've got open slots here. I think I'll take the orchard, the 10 food. And 1 into 1. We don't really want a bath. We'll level take the harbor. We'll take the health building. We'll try to get up to the 65 health max as quickly as possible. Farm. Yeah, let's go pursue getting up to here. Let's pursue getting up to agriculture 3 so we can get the canal. It'll delay the health buildings a little bit, but the health buildings plus the canal will be a pretty strong combo. We're going a little bit more food here because we lost one of the places. Otherwise, it looks fine. And we got a couple loose. No idle in the loose territories, though. Oh, apparently we've got enough. Oh, that's a really tiny province. That's like 3 big. Okay. Do I want the open terrain or the mountain? We'll do the open terrain. Make a province there. It's not going to be a very good province. Any useful regional decisions? We got the draft going. And that looks like to be the only good one. Do we still have a general in charge of you? Yeah. I think there needs to be Greeks there to draft. So these guys aren't Greek, so we can't draft them. Fair enough. We attack. Assaulting the garrison. Archers fire. Exhaust most of the garrison. 9v4 with a min roll and 7 on us. So yeah, quick discharge the garrison. Place falls back to us. This is not necessarily a good fight for us from a raw combat standpoint, but we're in the defense, in the forest, with medium infantry, which is probably the best we're going to get for fighting in the forest. We've got a min roll 3, they got a min roll 1, we got 7. I think that's a fight we're going to win. 7v6. The min roll 5 might save us. Got us a stalemate. Okay, we lost 1 for 1. And we technically won the battle. Displace some more slaves. So we just did a province swap, basically. We're gonna Earth the Siege, which we're not gonna use. Okay, we managed to keep the province intact because of the swap. We definitely use more food. And of course this place is completely worthless for food production. Okay. Okay, that makes the region food positive. Salt house. Regional road. Regional road. You're back over to building. Lots of building over here. I don't really want any of those options, let's be fair. It's not really strong enough. I take the granary, I take the orchard, I take the farm, take the wells for food. Health building wise, we want sewer, we want gymnasium. We want hospital. Right, so there's options in the pool that I want, we just didn't pull them this time. Okay, just do rerolling. We do have a place we can import silk from. So the amphitheater says good. Currently it's getting imported from roads, is what it's saying. So, one, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that is a trade acumen issue there, where we're importing it from someone else and not ourselves. But as long as we're importing it from somewhere, silk's expensive enough that that's fine. Commercial port. +1 trade range. Yep. Tempting to go to the Laslin Temple, but no commercial port. Like that trade range. Do we still need the... No, we don't need you on culture anymore. Because we finished building the Noble District, yeah. Finish one of the Oduns. Have fun just building slots here. This is a frontal place, so this actually makes sense to have... I think this is the place I do. No, this is the island. Okay, it's fine. We'll still put the watchtower there. It's unlikely to be much more than a speed bump. And the hospital is building there. That's fine. We did there. Anything in the loose ones? And we have this new state. We're not deriving food from the new state, so let's do what we can. Increase building. Can you do what you can to, like, feed everyone? Yeah. Similar sort of thing here. Feed everyone, please. Okay, I'd like the siege stack to be able to go on the offensive, but the siege stack right now is sitting in the defensive, kind of stalling in the mountains, or stalling in the forest against overwhelming Persian army, so we'll accept that it's not going anywhere for the moment. Yeah, and then if we can, we want to trade our iron away for something. Not so precious iron, yes. Iron to men, please. 600 iron out, some amount of men in, please. And the fight against Persia continues. Managed to catch that Persian army. 17 versus 24. Apparently I ended up in the defense. Good thing we got a lot of cav. 7v6, but ooh, that minimum 7 roll. Minimum 7 roll. Okay. First minimum 7 roll, we just apparently just rolled badly. Open terrain, so we do get a bunch on the pursuit. Only 3 cav and 1 archer. 3 cav, 1 archer, and 1 of the line infantry escape. Everything else is destroyed. We're not making enough money to be hiring mercs like that. Attack. Okay, where do I want to send the fleet? I don't know where the Persian fleet is because of the fun that is the fog of war. They're probably in striking range if we knew where they were. We'll go block the street for the moment. Our army is attacking there. I don't want to abandon the forest just yet. Okay, we got an open spot in Arcadia. We needed loyalty, we could do Gladiator School. If I wanted to import weapons, we could do Gladiator School. Ooh, interesting. We do get the bonus for weapons here, which is, as you notice, is a bonus 5 manpower. Technically, the percentiles get kicked in after that while, so it's running down to 1, but that's still manpower. We still need men. So it's very tempting to grab that. Produces ceramics. Give another place, give the capital 10 culture. Gives 29 money. Would help us solve the budget issue. Men, money. I'm actually maybe at the point where I need money more. So we'll go money. Two open slots. Again, not the temple we want. Because of the taxation penalty, it'd make us have less money coming in. Again, really good if you can get access to that myrrh and frankincense. That's the problem, is we don't have access to myrrh and frankincense. And we're not ready to try importing gold. There's a couple different ways to move silver around as well, but we're not ready to move the gold. Garum will pass on. We're really probably looking for some loyalty at this point. We got 2 slots. We'll go ahead and take the Wheelmaker. Taking the one off onto production. Still working on that hospital. One of the places here is a little rebellious. Can I solve the rebelliousness problem? I think the answer is no. That's mainly apparently coming from the rated penalty. Okay. Not enough to get the hospital done. Yeah. Okay, and then the loose ones. We do have one in that loose one. We do have people to convert here, so it would make sense to grab the conversion choice, which is the regular temple. Okay, I think that was the only idle one, yeah, at that point. taking a toll on the psyche of Sparta, leaving them in decline in creativity. Yeah, at some point I might need to, like, destroy Athens, or at least liberate them so they're not controlled by the Persians. I think that bad event's coming because we're weaker than Athens for whatever reason. Counter's weaker than Athens for whatever reason. Okay. And we attack. Or they attack. Okay. Ranged attack. Good thing we have a bunch of cavalry to properly cover the flanks. 7v7, but we got a higher min roll. We did lose a cav in that engagement. Buy, sell, displace. We do some more displacement. Spend metal to acquire... Okay, we don't have the metal yet to spend. Okay, once again, order the attack. We'll try recruiting some replacement cav. Blockading's going fine. How about the building? Sewer. Expensive to build, but I think it'll work out in the long run. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. That one. We can't import drugs/herbs from anywhere. If we could, this would be worth building. We'd like the Stoa. We could probably make do with better wood building, or a better infrastructure building here. Don't really want to put a farm building here. Could get a better loyalty, though this is probably the sort of thing we want as Courthouse, so we'll take that. Crafting district. There we go. Another one of those. Needs tools, trading required. Okay, we'll have to find some way to get tools over here. But at least in the short run, I think this is worth it. Because, again, I'm willing, even if I have to not have the tools, right? I'm willing to pay 24 money for one legacy. And we can't get rid of the unrest revolt risk anyway. So we'll just focus on building it quicker. That'll go away in the turn anyway, so you're doing your thing. We're not going to worry about the food overflow here for the moment. Then you got 3 slots. Given the circumstance, I'm very tempted to public works, but towers and some defense. Okay. Hopefully our counterattack actually goes in and we don't just get attacked again by Persians. Okay, I'm gonna move the second stack across the strait. We'll take the other place over there. Okay, they're... Oh, nope, we managed to catch up to them. We're attacking, they're defending. This is the forest, which is probably not the preferred terrain for this fight. For us. Yeah, they got the train defense bonus. Very reliant on our minimum roll here. I think this is going to be a stalemate. Well, actually, no, that one defeat gave us a pursuit victory. Barely did any damage. Basically just scared him back into pulling off. Oh, interesting. They've got 3 Decadence tokens. They're in the progressing tier, but they got Decadence tokens. So presumably they keep losing their objectives. I give them money, which is something we're starting to hemorrhage a little bit, but we do still probably want manpower and metal. Okay. Attack the enemy army. Bring your guys across so we can try to reinforce after the battle. How's the siege looking? Siege is expected to take a long time. Probably because we're not blocking the port. That's one of the places where it goes to 2 places, so my 1 fleet is not going to be able to blockade both locations. Don't have any naval support. We'll do some forage to land and hope that we can keep the supply situation decent. Let's see what amphitheater finish next turn. You're actually done. We're a little bit desperate for money, so we're going to actually take you guys, instead of putting you on food to continue growing, we're going to put you on money. Okay. You got an open slot there. We don't have any place to import wax from, so we're going to pass. The Tribune might be worth getting just so we can try to upgrade it quicker to the courthouse. We've only got 1 open slot here. So I really should be rolling for the public roads. Yeah, we'll do some rerolls here. These guys are mostly Hellenic? Yeah. The temple's not super valuable. We'll take the farm upgrade. Grain would not be bad to have. We're looking to get the unrest under control here. It should be fixed next turn. We had an unrest event that happened here. That's why we've got an unloyalty problem. I don't think I can source... Oh, I could prevent an unrest for a turn. We'll do that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And we really don't care what's being built there. Or there's nothing being built there, so put them on food, so there's a little bit more food in the release, so our troops can take that later if they need it. You're in a rest, but we've sorted that. I think that makes sense. You're on the front. It's Iranian people. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Persians are fleet. That's just skip that. Fleet's gonna win. They're sallying of all things. Okay. They were probably better off just holding the fort, but you know, for me. Okay, our garrison's not going to hold out there. Garrison falls, and we don't catch them. Agreed upon a mutually beneficial transaction. Cool. They're proposing a trade deal. What do you want? I give you... No. No. I sell displace. We'll do some displace. Siege is expected to last a long time. There's basically no garrison at this point. I'm gonna risk an assault. Well, that's less of a risk of an assault, but we're gonna assault there. We lost the province because we aren't able to keep control of enough places. Okay. Let's do enough here that we can get the unrest risk down. Same here. Sanatorium. Public road. Public work is not bad. A 2 and a 1. Palace Library. Can import the papyrus. Faction-wide commerce or faction-wide culture of 10% will be pretty good. +1 legacy, 25 or 20 for culture. That, well, I think that 24 might actually just be the 20 or the 10%. Well, actually, no, we're only making a 92, so it's got to have some base. Yeah, legacy, we do that for the legacy. I'm even going to go ahead and postpone picking up the hospital because that is a national wonder. We'll do the monument. We don't need more assault this close to the capital. I'm pretty sure we have assault deposit somewhere. Nothing to build here. We did pull 2 slaves. We'll put... Oh, I don't need the slaves are already put on the food because we didn't need them on production. Okay. 1 open building slot here. Monument's not a bad pull. Stuff is building here. We want that stuff to finish. Do we... We still do need, because of the unrest, you guys on culture. Art of the Siege. And that's pretty much all we're gonna do, apparently, with those decisions. Money's positive again. Manpower is basically stable. Metal's coming up. Fleet looks fine. Let's advance the turn. Okay. That was the assault that I decided to risk. And it was probably worth the risk. We lost one of the drafted guys, but Fortress has fallen. We're storming there. Again, this is probably worth the risk. Archers fire. 9v5. Yep, this is going to be mop up. And the fighting continues. Have I actually lost those claims on Rome? Yeah, I've lost all but the one on Rome. Where are my objectives at this point? Probably off in the middle of... they're out in Persia. That makes sense. That's fair. Can't, except for the two we can't lose. We got two that are bouncing around Persia, probably. I don't feel like they're in a great place in Persia. Like, yeah, we're not going to get there anytime soon. Neither there. Okay. Those are objectives. They're probably not happening. Okay, let's push you ashore there. Our troops are probably in the situation where it does make sense to just order an attack on the Persians. Oh, there's my other boat. Like, I thought I recruited 6 boats. We don't need the loyalty here. Though you're money positive. So if we can find a way to get the wild beast or the wine in, you'd be even making more money. So we'll take you. We don't need you. But preemptively getting it just solves the problem. It's being offered, it's a good building. We'll take it. Preceptor House. Here's a place where we definitely need some loyalty. And that's probably going to get worse. Because the slaves are starting to pile up, I think. Okay. Have you stabilized enough that I can... No. Well, maybe we'll take like 1 off. Yeah. Want that to be done. When that's done, I'll probably go revisit some of our... well, probably revisit the capital. No, we'll be 67, so we'll hold off a bit there. But yeah, so we get more and more global health. We can start to disassemble the health buildings of places that are built the build everywhere. Can you import virus? Yeah. And the only place they can import them from, to be fair, is kind of the place we would want them to import it from, so... Okay, I can get the unrest risk to go away there. And as is the continuance here, attack the Persian army. Or, well, we can attack by them. That works just as well. That just means we get the defense bonus instead they do. Min roll 7, otherwise fair fight. Min roll 7, otherwise basically fair fight. Yeah. Not as hard of a victory as I would have liked, but we dealt some damage. The Persian army is still out there. Oh dear. The Persian army keeps coming. Oh dear. There's 150 Persian guys out there. Yep, keep attacking. Okay, we'll sweep back and forth across the front. I'd like you to attach those guys, presumably with not going through the enemy territory, but, you know, sometimes the AI isn't the smartest tool to try to... we could use a little bit of loyalty here. We'll grab the Gladiator School. You're making decent money. At this point, I don't really want to make more money, but rather want to convert it into troops. We want to be making like 200 a turn. Though I don't think we can afford another army. As much as I would like another army. I might actually be able to afford another batch of linemen. Maybe to add to the existing army. One of the existing armies. We'll do Physician House. Actually, no. We want that canal. Field's not really what we want. We'd probably want the granary or the mill. Yeah. Let's, I'm gonna risk re-rolling until we get the granary and the mill. Salt mine. I think there were some complaints about there not being salt out here, but it's not giving me any warnings about that. Take an anchorage. Another port wouldn't be bad. Okay, so then we got any loose ones? None of the loose ones are idle. Okay, we're across... A little bit of a gamble doing this move, because their army could move there. Really want to go lay siege to that fort. Or even better, this fort up here. But I need to generate some sort of supply line, otherwise we're not going to be able to feed the troops. As far as recruiting... Spartan phalanxes. Could I... Or Swampy Assault Mountains. Okay, so as long as we're just in the hills, we're fine with these guys. Could I get 6 of you? This turn. The answer maybe doesn't surprise you, as we don't actually have enough ability to construct them. We can get 4. And now I can afford 4. Definitely afford 4. Maybe I can risk... Yeah, we do a two-turn recruitment. I'll get the 6 of them. Then I might go attach... Assuming this army has survived 2 turns, we'll attach it to this army. This will be the front line to these guys. Which will give these guys basically the ability to do what the other army's doing and just attack the Persians if need be. We're going to start having manpower problems from doing this, but we got a decent manpower reserve at the moment. We hit one of the smaller Persian armies. 19 versus 10. Medium infantry go in. And it's a draw. That's not good. Main Persian army versus our army. We're on the defense, so we get the +1 bonus from defending. In the hills. Little reliant on the minimum roll here. Yeah. Okay, we trit the Persian army a little bit more. Okay, our army won that battle against the garrison, so the garrison falls. Oh, and Persia has declined to being an old empire. Did that cause them to have a civil war? Usurper Inaris. Maybe. That may be the civil war. Whether or not that's going to be enough to, you know, do anything? Don't know. But they're in a civil war. Which, if that is the case, means them having all their troops on their border with us is maybe a bad thing for them. Though, I don't actually know how many troops they have, so maybe that's not all their troops on the front with us. Oh, that's not good. We're now down to someone who is either able to attack or defend. Slave revolt! The slaves are revolting. I don't think this is really a problem. This is going to delay the Spartans arriving, I think. Spartan phalanx arriving, but again, not a real problem. Okay. You keep attacking the major stack. You attempt to advance and lay siege to that fort. You swing around and blockade the fort. $16 money is 16 money. Hard to say no, but we can probably get better. We are approaching the point where you're going to turn into a pumpkin and disappear. Next 3. Doing the temple here is a culture down. We would rather have the Thassalin temple. Do I take it anyway? I'll gamble that we find at least another temple before that comes up again. To be fair, I'm not too worried about the revolt. Because it's the Spartan garrison of the capital. The capital will handle it. In fact, I'm setting Spartan phalanxes there. They're not going to show up in time and are excessive. Don't really want the watch house. It might make sense to build a blacksmith into tools here. We do need some tools in various places, so another tool maker won't be too bad. Not the building we want. Now let's continue to build up the health buildings here. And actually thinking about it, no, the toolmaker is tier 2. We'll have access to tier 2 when that's built, so that's fine. That'll be fine. Okay, and we did finish. You're still in unrest? Interesting. I expected you to calm down, but you haven't. Okay. We'll build the road. And we do have you done. I'd start disassembling the hospital. Except I don't need unrest right now. That's why we're not disassembling the hospital. We don't have... Well, we do have weapons over here. We'll take that for the manpower bonus, then. And we got an open slot here. Maybe not a very useful open slot, but we'll do something with it. Monument is monument. And even given that it's in hostile terrain, it's still a decent monument. Gambling ring to help stabilize the place a little bit. Can't even get that place stable. Might as well get the road done quicker then. So we're moving, we're moving. The Cav still hasn't managed to catch up with the... Go there, go there. Hopefully that'll get you to where you need to be. Okay, one more turn of attacking the Persians in this episode. Okay, my reinforcements did arrive in time for the slave revolt. So we got a batch of Spartan phalanxes here, I believe. The palace guard's gonna make short work of them. A splat, and a splat, and a splat. And here's the Spartan phalanx. These are only experienced Spartan phalanxes, and yet they're unstoppable enough they're getting minimum 6 roll. They don't even really need to roll when they're winning the battle. Yeah. They're attacking us. At least we get that good 6 defense bonus there. 9v5. We got an extra die roll. In 7 because of Unstoppable Veteran. There we go. Got our cav reinforcements. Whether that actually gets us to anywhere is maybe a different question, but at least got the cav doing it. Where? Oh! When you fall into old is like glorious. You have your age. Your age penalty applies. So Persia just dropped like a rock. Where is Persia on this list? This Persia used to be up at 1. So that's the Persian revolt, I think. The revolt doesn't get their age because the revolt's young, to be fair. Carthage, boy, Pix. Got a couple more revolts. Persia. Okay, so Persia dropped 49 places because of their age. They're old. They haven't been aging up. If we can just chip away at that culture to decadence ratio, they'll get another civil war and another civil war, and we'll just keep chipping at them. Okay, I think that's what we've got to do. We've got to keep attacking. Buy, sell, or displace. Do more displacing. Attack. Attack, attack, attack. And yep, we can see there is another civil war. There is another civil war. So they're starting to... well, I assume that's their civil war. They're starting to have a little bit of chickenpox. We'll see if we can keep the chickenpox spreading. Okay. At some point we're gonna get these guys out to there, but for the moment I think we're fine. What's the siege? Expected to be quick. Okay, let's not block the fort then. We'll get back to port ourselves. You're advancing. A 2 and a 1. Glass works. The capital, I think, wants glass. Some of the other buildings apparently need glass. Apparently not a bad choice because of that. much is that giving us? 40 culture, 5 equipment, 40 money. Yeah, I think that's worth that. Got some unrest here. We'll take the regional road. That's because we got another slave in, destabilizing the place more. Engage more of the emergency secondary measures to keep stability up. Scriptorum. Tempting... Well, yeah, tempting to go that, but no, we're going to Scriptorum. And then we can on to building that Scriptorum. 32 turns is a lot, but we can get it lower than that. Looks like it's going to let us back up a little bit on that. We'll look a little bit on the money there. Okay. Got an open building slot. Grab some loyalty with the Oration Tribune. And we got stuff to build here. Hospital's good. For the physician house to build in the hospital, to build into the unique building. Good chain. Grab the clear water. Okay, those armies are moving. Your theory moving. I think this is a good place to put the part break in. So if you're watching on YouTube, hope you have been enjoying. There will be a part up tomorrow, because we're going to try to record one more part today, hopefully where we get a little bit more progress against the Persians. I'm kind of hoping either they start to have problems with the, the usurpers in their rear, or their army just finally begins to retreat down, because that's kind of the two things we're facing. Is there's 127 plus a few here. There's 23 here. There's 150 units, proper field units, that we're trying to fight with 40. We're doing it because we're Sparta, but that's hard. So yeah, until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.